Nah, give me a minute. If you ain't got no patience, then I say this cause I mean it. Success comes from discipline. If you listen in the fiction ends, I need me some different friends, cause truth is they are all pretend. You thinking damn, she like fuck the.
Hey, what's up guys? It's 2-1. Thank you for checking this video out. I posted a video up 2 months ago letting you guys know I was coming back. So the first video I have decided to do is of course about my saltwater tank. That's where I left off with my last YouTube video. So I thought I would update everyone about that. I started this tank 2 years ago, or well 3 years ago kinda. I started it on exactly October 20th, 2015. And I mean, I started with just live rock and live sand. If you go back in my videos, you can probably find like day 1 or day 10 or something like that. And that's like the earliest video that I recorded of this tank. This is a 20-gallon nano tank. I have a 15-gallon tank underneath of it that serves as my sump and refugium and returns. I would say with the media, I'm probably getting an extra 10 gallons. And that leaves a ton of room for my tank to drain into should the power go out. Anyway, from October 20th, 2015 to the date of this video, August 21st, 2018, my tank is 1,037 days old. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in, and I'm going to show you all the corals and where they're at now, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about what's kind of happened over the years since the last video that I posted. These are my green Palys. These grow extremely aggressive and they are incredibly hardy. These are Taro trees. These grow like crazy too. These are actually the biggest these have ever gotten. I've had these almost since like the first month or two of my tank, and these have survived everything. I love them. They're super huge now, and I love how they flow. Now this by far is my favorite coral. This is the Fungia plate coral. I've had this for sure since day 1 of my tank, or since I started putting corals in my tank, and he's gotten bigger than this. This is not as big as he normally gets, but I love the personality of this coral. I mean, I want a whole sand bed full of these things. So this is an Acropora and blue snowflake polyps. It's funny, when I actually got the blue snowflake polyps, they were growing on a piece of an Acropora that I thought, it was a dead Acropora that I thought was alive. So I thought these were the actual polyps of the Acropora. And then they actually spread off the Acropora and started growing onto the rock. And then I realized it was a completely different coral. And then the Acropora that you see in this, I actually thought it was a Montipora, and then it started growing these fingers. But yeah, these are way bigger than when they first started out. This is a blue spruce. I got this coral with the Acropora and with the blue snowflake polyps actually. This only came with 2 heads at the time, and they were like really tiny heads. So this has grown dramatically. This is another one that just has a lot of personality. This one is I want to say it's a hammer coral, but it doesn't really it's in that family for sure, but this one doesn't have the exact, hammer shape to it. This was also given to me with just 2 heads on it, and now it has 6 heads on it, and right now I can see like I think it's like 4 to 6 baby heads that are about to grow. So this thing is about to double in size over the next couple months for sure. Green and brown Palys, these I've had since the beginning of the tank, and these aren't as aggressive as I expected them to be. They don't encrust a lot of rock, however they have grown tall and wide. For some reason, soft like zoanthid like corals don't do well in my tank. Last but not least, we have Duncan corals. This is a fairly new addition to my tank. I want to say I added these in the past 2 to 3 months maximum. I haven't had these long at all. I was looking for something else wavy to go behind the hammer coral. I don't know how they're going to interact though, so we'll see what happens when they both get bigger. Alright, so as far as I remember, the last time I showed you guys my tank, I was adding in my sump. That was probably, it was definitely within the first year of having my tank. If you've been with me from the beginning, my 15-gallon tank was the very, very first tank I had, and that's what I'm dating from, was when when I started that tank. And then I transferred that entire tank into this 20-gallon high, or 20-gallon tall, you know. So that I'm counting it from the beginning of the 15-gallon because it's the same exact system, it's the same exact ecosystem, just putting it in a taller tank. And then I changed that same 15-gallon tank into my Refugium / Sump. And also, I think when the last time I made a video, I had made like an overflow, and a DIY overflow with PVC, or maybe I was telling you guys that I was going to. Well, I did make one, and it was very, very successful. I had that one for about a year, and then I decided that it just couldn't handle as much flow as I needed it to. So then I switched to an actual overflow. This one is only rated for 200 gallons per hour, but on a 20-gallon tank, I would say realistically probably 30 gallons volume, that's perfectly fine for just the overflow. I got some power coming from the return, but I have a very nice MP10 on here. And then I actually added a couple days ago a Rio 400 to the back glass. Excuse me. It's not in this video, but in the next one you will see it. And actually, probably at the end of this video, I'm gonna add a clip of me getting some new corals. But yeah, so here we are, day 1037. This is what my tank looks like now. If you go back and you watch my old videos, you can see that a lot of these corals are OG corals. Oh man, I didn't even show you guys the mushrooms. But you can see that a lot of these corals are OG corals, and I've had these ones for a long time. And you can see that like a lot of zoanthids died. I used to have a lot of short button zoanthids, and they were doing really well, and then all of a sudden they just got wiped out. And then the same thing happened with the green star polyps. I've had them twice, and they just got completely wiped out each time. I don't know what's going on, but I know that I see those little white starfish. I find them on them all the time, and the next thing you know, that whole colony is just gone. So yeah, so next I'm going to show you a clip of me getting some corals. We're going to fast forward to today, actually, which is actually August 28th, 2018, and I just put in some new frags. So
Hold on, give me a second now, give me a minute. If you ain't got no patience, then I say this cause I mean it. Success comes from discipline. If you listen in the fiction ends, I need me some different friends, cause truth is they are all